Okay, welcome back. Since our last session, Chuck and I actually did a different session that we did not record. And the reason we didn't record was because it was at night. It was in the dark. And in that session, we used a program called SharkCat and mounted his little spotter telescope on the weldment here. And we did a polar alignment. And we got, these are the adjustment bolts up here for doing the polar alignment, and we got it down to really within 2 seconds of arc of being perfectly polar aligned. And of course, at 2 seconds of arc, even tightening the screws makes an adjustment. So that's well within any kind of tolerance that we're looking for, and will certainly help in the future when we're doing any kind of astrophotography. So today's session, we already mounted this brake here up against the brake disc, and we need to test that and make sure that it's working properly. And then we're also going to continue aligning the encoder. You can see the red ring, the encoder ring. We have to make sure, now it does need to be nearly perfectly aligned, or actually perpendicular to the axis, very nearly perfect, to within very tight tolerance. So that's probably the most difficult challenge we have today. All right, Chuck, let's get to work. Okay, Logan and I are back today. Last week, Chuck and I worked on the brakes, and we got things working. We got them mounted and powered it up, and it worked. But what we found was we didn't seem to have enough torque. Really had about, as an estimate, of about 10 to 15 pounds on this, this much distance. And we were getting a little bit of sloppiness in it would kind of move a little bit. So I added a couple of holes here, and I added another mounting screw here. So we're going to have to drill a couple of holes in the mount, and then we'll mount the brake again, and we'll test it. And this time we're going to test it at both 12 volts, and I've got another basically 20 volt power supply, and we will see if we can tease more torque out of it. When I tested it on the bench, I actually got about 38 pounds of holding friction, but we've only got about 5 inches of moment arm, and that's why we didn't get as much torque as we thought. So another alternative, if this doesn't work, is to have a longer plate. And I hope we don't have to do that, because we would have to dismount the whole thing and put that plate on. Okay, so Logan, let's get to work.